everybody.
Good morning.
It's Sunday.
All day.
See, we got a little different background today.
Yeah, doesn't it look better without the well, we still got construction mess, but it looks better without the
All the paint and the wet
paint
refrigerator and all that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Progress.
progress.
It looks like progress.
Yep. All right. Today we're in part 2 of a 4-part. Jesus is betrayed and arrested. Today we're looking at Mark chapter 14, starting at verse 43. And immediately, even as Jesus said this, Judas, one of the 12 disciples, arrived with a crowd of men, armed with swords and clubs. They had been sent by the leading priests, the teachers of religious law, and the elders. The traitor Judas had given him a prearranged signal. You will know which one to arrest when I greet him with a kiss. Then you can take him away under guard. As soon as they arrived, Judas walked up to Jesus. Rabbi, he exclaimed, and gave him the kiss. Then the others grabbed Jesus and arrested him. But one of the men with Jesus pulled out his sword and struck the high priest's slave, slashing off his ear. Jesus asked him, Am I some dangerous revolutionary that you come with swords and clubs to arrest me? Why didn't you arrest me in the temple? I was there among you, teaching every day. But these things are happening to fulfill what the scriptures said about me. Then all the disciples deserted him and ran away. One young man following behind was clothed only in a long linen shirt. When the mob tried to grab him, he slipped out of his shirt and ran away naked. Now the commentary. Judas was given a contingent of police and soldiers, John 18 verse 3, in order to seize Jesus and bring him before the religious court for trial. The religious leaders had issued a warrant for Jesus' arrest, and Judas was acting as Jesus' official accuser. Just hours earlier, these disciples had vowed never to desert Jesus, Mark 14 verse 31. Tradition says that this young man may have been John Mark, the writer of the gospel. The incident is not mentioned in any of the other accounts. Yeah, I guess I don't ever remember that part, reading this, that there was one that had to run away naked.
Yeah.
So.
And you think it says shirt in our version, but they wore the long tunics down to their ankles.
Yeah.
And to show even their ankles was forbidden. That was scandalous.
Yeah.
So for them to run away naked was absolutely not heard of.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah. Not that, and that's just what brought to my mind was when Jesus went, he was teaching and he came across the guy that had many demons in him. He ran up to Jesus naked.
Right.
So.
And at that point, he should have been rebuked or cast away because you don't approach people. You don't show yourself.
Yeah.
So
very interesting.
Yeah, it's included because of the significance of it and how desperately he was trying to get away.
Yeah. From
acknowledging he knew Jesus.
Yeah, he could have just stood there and been arrested and that'd have been okay,
Right.
Stood up for Jesus. But yeah, that's a good fact right there that he was doing everything he could to get away from that.
Because you wouldn't give up your shirt. You just wouldn't.
Yeah.
So for him to give it up and run away naked.
Yeah.
That's a very key point of how desperately he wanted out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we see that the disciples that even run away and betrayed him and all the story that is in the Bible, and they still acknowledge Jesus and they still do things. They messed up, but God uses it to win people now. Yeah,
I'm sure they all repented, and again, every one of these men here that ran away were tortured to death, sawed in half, crucified upside, because after they had the Holy Spirit, they couldn't do anything less.
Right.
That's the whole key right there. Without the Holy Spirit, we can do nothing.
Right.
With the Holy Spirit, we can do everything. And that's a good point to make. Thank you. Okay. Hope everybody has a glorious day, and we'll talk to you later.